Welcome everyone to Meet the Polymaker. I am your host Joel, and we are here today to talk none other than 3D printing or maker related stuff, not always 3D printing. But if you are new here, I know we've been getting a couple, some new people in. If you see down below, you see I am awesome, type that in the chat, and that's going to enter you for a chance to win some Polymaker filament at the end of the show. So make sure to get that in. I will give you a chance to do it one last chance at the end there, but go ahead and type it now, get you entered, so that way you're already ready to go. But also, if you're new here, we talk 3D printing news, maker news, just anything in the industry that's fun, new products, new progression within the 3D field, whether it be medical, housing, automotive, etc., food even. But we do that. We also show off some community prints, which are shared in our show off prints channel and our Discord at discord.polymaker.com. So if you have some things you'd like to share that you were really proud of printing, whether it be a failure, a great print, an okay print, share it, show some love over to the channel, show some inspiration to some other people, give them some ideas what to print. And I ask that if you share in there, please put a link in there where to find that model. Because a lot of times people will see something, absolutely love it, or somebody certain that set us up a show wants to show it, and I have no idea where to get it from. So we like to give credit anytime we can to anything. So make sure to include links to where you downloaded it, even if it's a Patreon or a not a Cults 3D or Printables or Maker World. If it's somewhere, it's a pay for site, that's fine. Just let us know where you found it, and that way if somebody wants to support that designer, they can do so. But that's all I have to say for now. So we're gonna get to the news. And first up, we are going to talk about backflip. This is going to be we've talked about many different versions of AI to 3D modeling, whether it be text to 3D modeling, you share a picture and it kind of converts it. There's a lot of stuff out there. This is showing a little bit further progression into the learning model of AI. It's actually founded by the two of the founders of Markforged. They've had a $30 million investment or funding from a capital investment company to help get everything rolling. But it's going to be a giant leap forward in bringing design and manufacturing back to the US. That's their goal with this tool. Now, mind you, will some of us use it to make crazy, stupid things? Yes, that's in our general nature and the making community, but it's going to be able to do a lot more than that. The AI language the AI language typically will capture how we think. Vision models capture how we see, and what they're saying is backflip captures how we build. So it's going to be more on that kind of CAD style where it's not just doing organic modeling, but more precision modeling. If you're wanting to get something that, as an example in this picture, a two-handled copper mug, and it's able to do that. Of course, it's going to get better and better as it learns. Right now, it's said to have backflip itself is said to have 60 times more efficiency in training, 10 times faster inference, and 100 times spatial resolution. So all that calculation, everything there is, and there's going to be things that are going to be better, and then this is going to get better. The plus side of having multiple out there is we're going to see improvement and innovation in the field. And eventually, for those that don't know how to model, but they know what they want, like I've got a million ideas in my head. I cannot do what you modelers do. I give mad props to that. But if I could just type in what I want and see how it spits out, especially if it's somewhat accurate, then it's cool. But for that too, hopefully some people still learn the design and kind of modify it as you go. But again, one more step forward in AI to 3D modeling. Next up, we're talking wood furniture. There's 4 designers that have created 4 separate projects using something called Econet wood. It's produced from a German company, Additive Tectonics, and is made from combining leftover wood from sawmills and timber harvesting. So it's got natural, non-toxic, and they're adding a flame retardant magnesium carbonate binder to it to help, of course, so it doesn't just catch fire and poof up in smoke in 2 seconds. But the designs were a little bit crazy. I don't know if they were given like certain tasks or they kind of designed on their own. What you see here is going to be, of course, a sofa and a shelf system. They also did stackable cubes, which is a modular, they're calling it the sandbox. It's a multi-function modular furniture system. I don't have that picture here, but if you search Econic wood, then you're going to find the 4 designs that they've done. The 4th one I've held off is I didn't show is a coffin. So a 3D printed wood coffin. Why that as a choice with furniture, shelving, and modular furniture? I don't know, but if you want a coffin in your living room, this is one of your possibilities. But just another, again, progression in the field that we're getting different materials. We've seen 3D printed wood stuff before, but it's getting more mainstream where these companies and designers are able to design just crazy looking stuff and 3D print it. They don't have to wait for customization of building and all that extra woodwork, which props to the guys that do handmade woodwork. I could never do it, but I can 3D print, so maybe I'll get a couch here soon. Next up, we're going to talk about the Da Vinci Bridge. This is, excuse me, actually threw my paper away. But it's a 3D printed bridge, which we've seen 3D printed concrete before, but this is using stone waste. It is located in Italy, the city of Bari. And then they've recently inaugurated this new self-supporting bridge into one of their urban parks. So it's created by Polytechnic University of Bari in collaboration with Wasp, who we've heard of a lot. They're big into concrete printers and do also, I think, some huge deltas, some big industrial stuff. And B&Y is another company they collabed with to create this structure and put it into a pedestrian location, like I said, an urban park. It's about 12 meters long, and the rock itself, or the stone that they've recycled, they're combining it with a lime-based binder to get the hold together. And what's cool too, another picture on this is, you can't print concrete supports and just snap them off. So they did have a wood frame as kind of a support to keep that arch going. But a cool design, and we're going to see that. We've seen even larger bridges done over top canals in certain countries. But we're going to see we have our 3D printing in the wild channel in our Discord. If you ever see something 3D printed, take a picture, share it in there. I have a feeling, in the course of next year, we're gonna have a lot more people realizing there's certain things out there that are 3D printed. So snap a picture, share it. It's always fun to see what's out there. And next up, I hit the wrong one. Next up, we're gonna look at stick-on hot swap tools. So we've seen tool changers. This is kind of that same basis, but it's more in an industrial way, and it's more than just switching out hot ends so you can have multicolor, multi-material. It's been kind of a niche trend, but it's starting to pick up and gain a lot more traction. Again, more for industrial means. But companies such as Q5D and Nscript are utilizing this method to make things like wiring harness automation, creating circuits, antenna, polymers. So what it's doing is it's changing not just the material, but putting down, say, a plastic base, and then you can have a wire extruder put on wire for a circuit, and then back over top of it with plastic, whatever material you use. But then also complete tool changer of being able to change out, having a camera, be able to switch it, check on the print that you're doing, measure things precisely with sensors. So there's a lot more automation where they can make this a more all-in-one printer or all-in-one machine that can design, create multiple things with multiple, not just material, but multiple types of things. So just a really cool thing. It's more common in specialized fields like nano printing, bioprinting, micro printing. But again, it's going to be something a lot of times we see with 3D printing is it starts in an industry and then we start to get a consumer version of it. And that can be really cool. I mean, now we have our desktop CNCs, looking at desktop SLS machines, and just all these cool things that are a little bit more affordable and something fun to with, whether it's going to be prosumer or down to the hobbyist level. Again, this is where a lot of the stuff starts, and then just we get the tail end of it in a cheaper version. And last but not least, we're going to talk about a Nintendo Switch 2. For those in gaming, recently announced, I think yesterday or today, officially announced. But at CES, some eagle eyes caught there was a booth, which is I think it's Jinkies. It's a game peripheral company, make accessories and covers and cases and things like that. Someone actually spotted their booth, this design here, and it's a 3D printed Nintendo Switch 2. Of course, it's a dummy model. It's no real parts. Everything is 3D printed. Likely to show off some of their gear that they were having for the Switch 2, but this was ahead of even the Switch 2 being officially announced. But a lot of places and companies get these, like D-Brand that does the skins, get models given to them from companies to be able to design and size up everything that they're making for it. So everything's precise and ready to go when the item releases. This is, I think, the first time, I'm sure it's not the first time it's been done, but the first time I've seen it in the wild where they've, companies 3D printed the model rather than just kind of rendered it and did everything on screen. So cool to just see them, displaying that, and also to, break a release date. So I don't know if anybody got in trouble for that, but cool to see. But that is it for the news. So let's move on to the community prints. And first up, we're going to see a print done by Reese Storm, or Reese's Storm, Reese's Storm, Reese Storm. Who knows? I'll never get all of them right. But this is the MH. Everything on this is hard to pronounce. MH Glavinus helmet, Glavinus by Bearded Printer. I can at least, I don't think that was by Bearded Printer, was it? Might have copied that wrong. Either way, I don't know why I don't have this link. Give me just a second because I want to give you guys the right information. This is an awesome helmet, and if you want to print it, then I encourage you to do so. I'm scrolling up. Give me just a second. I'm a professional here, guys. It's somewhere. There's so many. You guys are showing off prints so much. It takes a while to scroll through these now, which I love because there's just so much awesome stuff, you guys. And I only do 5 at once, so it's hard to keep up. Let's see here. Where'd the thread go? Well, I printed out where the thing specialized. Oh, I know. I bet you it's up higher. There it is. Okay, sorry. This is not Bearded Printer. I apologize, everyone. This is Yoast Studio. Let me go ahead. We're gonna take that off. That's it is the right thing. MH Glavinus helmet by Yoast Studios, available on yoaststudios.com. But sorry about that. Great print either way. Thank you for sharing. Next up, this is a design that is by Bearded Printer. This one I have correct. It is the Floppy Flounder, and it is printed by Cruisin' Girl. And just fun colors, and I like the little orange and blue googly eyes. It's hard to tell in this picture, but it's one of those really cool, they're fun to kind of fidget with, flexies. So awesome print, great design, and then proper credit this time. Next up, we have a print by Silverback in the community, and this is the Primaris Space Marine helmet. Warhammer 40K for those that don't know. Awesome printed helmet. It is designed by Nerd Rebel artist. It is available on Cults 3D. He also, it's not on this one, but if you go in our show off prints, he is also working on, he's not finished with it yet, but he's got it all printed and together, a chainsaw sword that goes with this cosplay, all printed in our cos PLA. So perfect use for it, and it's coming out awesome. I can't wait to see the sword when it's done. And I won't ruin it for him, but he's also working on another part of this costume. So stay tuned, and once he gets it all finished, maybe we'll share the full progression of the build. And next up, we have a print by Joe, Deep Dive Design. This is Yosemite Sam. Man, I messed up a lot this time. And Wile E. Coyote. This is a model designed by Red Dad Steve, available in Maker World. He has a ton of old school cartoon characters, so definitely recommend checking out his profile if that's what you're into. Joe did great on the colors on these, and they came out great. And two iconic characters. Even the youngins that are watching, I'm sure you know who they are, and if you don't, your parents need to show you. And last but not least, we have a print by Prince with Chris, and this is the Big Mega Brick the Hulk by Seaball Smuyaka. You see it on the screen. That's how it's spelled, just like that. It is available in Maker World if you want to print it yourself. And just, of course, again, the colors are great. I love the background, the lighting. The picture came out great. You got Deadpool hiding in the background there, and Darth Vader from Star Trek hiding in the back there too. So just another great print from the community. And again, if you have some you want to share, you might be featured on the show. Show off prints at discord.polymaker.com. Like I said, show anything there. It doesn't have to be the most high production photo or video or GIF, whatever you want to say. Share your makes. We enjoy seeing them all the time. But we're going to take a break for commercials, and today we're going to have a little bit before the commercials. I had put in a video here. We sponsor a lot of projects. People know that we do robotics. We do just general projects, whether it be really cool builds or just different events and things like that. This next project, we worked with let me see here. Let me get it right. A group of Microsoft volunteers worked with us and several dog rescue nonprofit organizations to design and provide 3D printed wheelchairs for dogs with mobility issues, which this is a huge thing. Like actually on Maker World, I think even one of our employee now, Pete, has designed one that he's got up on Maker World. Is now that 3D printing is there, there's so many things that we can help pets with, which we didn't have all these options before. If we did, they were a lot more expensive. Now it's a lot more obtainable. So I do have a video just kind of showcase that sponsorship. After that video, we'll have some commercials for you to enjoy. And then we'll be back to meet our next maker. So we will see you here shortly.
On the heels of last year's hackathon success, our hackathon team, Wagging Wheels, decided our work was not done. Did you know there are 90 million dogs in the US and at least 1 million have a walking disability and require a wheelchair? The average cost of a dog wheelchair is $400 to $1,000, which can be rather inaccessible to many non-profits without a budget for discretionary spend. A 3D printed wheelchair can be made at a fraction of the price, between $50 and $100, which are huge savings of almost 75%. Last year, we created successful rigs for Lyra and Oliver Tate of 2 animal shelter non-profits. The dog parents' feedback helped us improve this year's model. Version 1, known as the Cheetah, was made from 3D printed parts using PETG material from various 3D printers from our teams, designed to fit commonly acquired PVC with a front harness and 2 back skateboard wheels. This year's hackathon dog is named Etta. Etta is a 2-year-old pit bull mix from Rescue K911, which again is a non-profit, no-kill, volunteer-run animal rescue in the Midwest. Lindsay Lee, the founder, describes their animal shelter setup as kind of sanctuary because they are used to dogs not moving very quickly due to either physical or behavioural issues. They try to provide a safe space, one-on-one, and a yard for each dog, with dogs like Etta staying for at least a year. Etta was found at a Blues bar near Kansas City, where she was heard screaming and crying in the woods by 2 ladies. A band member, who was a previous adopter from the rescue, along with others, went to check it out and found Etta on her hind legs, howling in the dark next to a tree. Etta's right leg is attached only by skin, so she has no control over it. Her left leg is more of a hook, and she balances her chin and her left leg to stay upright. She can climb stairs by using her chin as a front leg. A traditional dog wheelchair will not work with her condition. This year, our prototype Rhino uses a 2-wheel sled design to make it comfortable for a dog with no front leg mobility. This is printed using a Bamboo Lab P1P machine with Polymaker plastic acquired from a generous donation from the company, with 2 6-inch wheels and a sensor to detect rollover. Rhino ended up costing $80 and is printed specifically for Etta's size, including a cutout for her leg. This design is meant to provide more of a rugged wheel design for off-road puppies. The Cheetah has also had some design tweaks to allow for a wheel flaring and caster wheel design to make mobility and direction changes easier while minimizing camber. A wheelchair for Etta would allow her to keep up and play with other dogs as she desires, addressing her current limitations due to having only 2 functional back legs. We stuck to our core values of inclusivity with, again, more than 70 hackathon members across all segments of Microsoft Business. Our rig specifications and documentation are open for all sources, so others who have a love for 3D printing can continue and spread the good for other non-profits in need.
Imagine owning some of the best songs about 3D printing this Discord has to offer. Polymaker presents 3D Printing Hits by Silverback and Little D, the best renditions of some of the greatest hits of all time. Hits like Hallelujah, Holly Smooth Criminal, All That She Wants Is Another Printer, Print Away,
There you go, print away.
Still the TD1, All About That Bag, No Stabbies, and Polyman.
It's a file tonight. We're all in the mood to see it extrude, 'cause you've got your printer tuned right.
Reserve your CD today with a special TV offer by going to polymaker.com and paying $39.99. Have your credit card ready. Seriously though, this music was a joke. Go buy some Polymaker.
This is Polymax PLA, the toughest PLA in the world, and today we're gonna put that to the test. I printed this very mechanical model and we're gonna drop it from the 12th floor. You heard me well, the 12th floor. Let's go! Ready for the first drop in 3, 2, 1. Whoa, that's crazy! Not even a scratch! Let's go and check it closer. Not even a single scratch. I dropped it again from the 12th floor and still not a single scratch. Buy your Polymax PLA right now!
Performance may vary depending on usage, individual factors, and external condition. Individual result may vary, not a guarantee of specific outcome. Consult your professional before use. See website for details and limitations. Use responsibly.
Have you had bad customer service with your filament provider? Have you ever gotten a bad spool and never got a response when you emailed the company? Well, that won't ever happen when you reach out to Polymaker. Some people say that no company cares about you. Wrong. 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 If you never got a response after emailing a company that you've worked with in the past, you may be entitled to better customer service. We at Polymaker pride ourselves on good customer service, and we won't ever keep you waiting for a response. Email us now at support@polymaker.com and we'll get back to you within 1 business day. We'll fight for you.
I can't hear. I still can't hear Joel. This is amazing. I'm hosting the show now. No idea what to say. Didn't take long. Yeah. So, hello, Internet. How are you? Yep.
You guys can't hear me either. Because guess what? I'm a pro, Doug. Welcome in, Doug. Dreams Void. I may have hit my mute button on my Go XLR. So I'm thinking it's a problem. Like, I'm getting ready to tell you to reconnect and everything else. But nah, I just got to hit the pink button that says, hey, you're muted. Wow.
You need to print yourself a big light that's very, very glowy.
It's a teal or pink light. And if it's pink, it's muted. But I just I muted it during the video, but anyway.
It needs to be higher up so you can see it. It's all good.
Yeah, there we go. Just put it right there, right in my face.
Yes.
Well, welcome in, Doug, or as I said, as others might know you as Dreams Void on the Discord. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and kind of who you are, what you do?
I am Doug, or Dreams Void, as you just said. I do 3D printery type stuff. Amazing, fantastic. So I'm supposedly the UK ambassador for the Recreator 3D project and a very vocal person of the thing known as Printer Block from Joe Larson, the 3D printing professor.
Yep, we've had him on and talked about it, and you've kind of taken that to another level and then another level.
Yes, so Joe released Printer Block to the world under a Creative Commons license for the base set, and he said, have fun. And I would like to think that I've done that. He said, run with it, go have fun, and I did. A couple years ago, late 2019 to early 2020, I tried making the first Printer Block printer, which made out of linear motors from linear actuated type things out of DVD drives. And this is what started the entire madness that I've been doing for the last 4 and a bit years now. So I've been having fun.
Yeah, and now that of course was the first iteration. So then what was the second one? I think you can somewhat see it behind you, but I think it's hidden by a spool. Oh no, you got the spool. Okay, yes, and I can see it.
I've moved the spool. Well, that's technically the second iteration of the second iteration. It's so that glorious individual Rob Mink of Baby Belt fame and Princept, he made the original Baby Belt using 28 BYJ unipolar stepper motors that were then converted into bipolar and 3mm rods, and I followed that advice per se. It wasn't advice. He had no idea that I did it.
With it.
I ran with it. I took the idea and incorporated it into the Printer Block printer, and that's where I got the first Core XY build that I took to Smurf 23. I showcased it there, had lots of lovely feedback as to what was wrong with it. Losing steps, slop in the belts, no way to tension the belts.
Yeah.
And
you get enough minds on it and more eyes on it, you get more opinions. Yeah.
Exactly. So, shortly before Smurf 23, which take a step back, I went to Smurf 23 being the face of Recreator 3D. So if people aren't familiar, Recreator 3D is taking plastic bottles, 2-liter bottles, whatever plastic bottles that you'd like to use, milk cartons if you want HDPE. Why you'd want HDPE, who knows?
Sometimes just because you can.
Yes, stripping it down into strips and protruding it through a hot end to make a really, really long straw that you can't drink through. I've tried, because why not? And I was showing off the Mark 6 Recreator build that Josh had released in the January as Smurf was announced, and showing off that. And Josh wanted me to show myself, and initially he wanted this. I say he wanted this. I wanted this to work. This never worked. If it had, it would have printed a 32mm cube, which would have then printed the mini printer, Mini Core XY, which would then
upgrading itself.
reverse wrap instead of things getting smaller as they tend to do, get bigger, and then you get this. I am going all over the place. I am sorry. I'm not giving you a chance.
Nope. We're following. Yeah, no, the step-by-step iteration, the history of the Printer Block printer.
Josh says HDPE makes for a good nozzle cleaner, which, yes.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. There are reasons to do it. Yes. So Josh wanted me to show off something at Smurf 23, and I dived deep into getting a Core XY Printer Block printer because I never got this to do anything more than a blob. The key bit being that last letter. If it was a K instead of a B, it would have been fine. But yes, something along those lines. So SWF 23 happens. I iterate still. I iterate on the Mini Core XY, change it over to NEMA 11s because I've been speaking to Rob at that point, and he said, "You've done enough. You've tried enough. Stop struggling. Stop it. You're torturing
Use what you
yourself
know
for
is
no
gonna work."
reason."
Yeah.
Yes. This was around the time that he was doing Baby Belt Pro build, so
Okay.
he switched that to NEMA 11s and Rails, making it nicer. I followed in those footsteps because people have paved the path, as
Yep.
the community does. Other people have done it. You iterate, you tweak, you remix,
And
you make things
modify
work
it
for
to
you.
work with your build. Yep.
Yeah, and I did. And then I scaled it up after, reaching out to Polymaker with I've got a marketing idea. Let's make the mini printer look nicer. And Builder's Mark was like, well, you've already done that. Let's make it bigger.
Bigger. Yep.
So we did. The big one is an Ender 3 bed, so 235 give or take, rather than 100 millimeters square build area
Yeah.
and potentially 400 millimeters of build height. Because why not? Because it looks bigger, and there's 8-ish kilos and 500 hours of printing in that thing.
Well, and you have the creativity too of, rather than it's one thing for us to send you 8 kg of filament, you print it out and it's done. You wanted to do it in multicolor, so we kind of
Yes.
did. Our sponsorship was a little bit different because we didn't send you a whole lot of full spools.
No,
we sent
no,
you a
you said
lot of samples for our
yes,
sample
and
boxes.
they were used for the motion component. So I don't have one of them to hand. I could take it off the printer. Could I? Should I? I can take it off the printer.
How much are you going to
1
destroy when
second.
you do it?
It's a printer block. It's not glued.
Yep.
There's no glue on this. There's no screw where it's
glue or
avoidable.
bolts. It's just snapped.
And yeah, just all the motion components were printed out of the sample
That's so
size, the
cool.
pen-sized filaments that you have, which you need to add more variety into the pen packs because they are great.
Well, it gets people
Genuinely
introduced to more
love that.
filament too. Yeah, there's been a lot of demand for samples and more colors in the samples.
Yeah.
A Starlight sample, and so you never
Yeah,
know.
which-
I mean, that we're always developing new things and new products and new ways to do product that we currently have. So, I mean, I can't make any promises, but you never know.
It's all good. It's all good. I just loved the option to it's all well. I could have done it in a single monotonal green or an orange
Yeah,
or
like
a
I said,
red.
yeah, we
But
could have just
where's the
here's
fun?
8 kg and be done. Yep.
Yeah. So I wanted to take what I could do with having it all built out of multiple parts to better showcase what Polymaker have on offer, which I think that was great, and I
Yep.
liked
Oh,
being
great
able to do
idea.
that.
Yeah, when you guys brought
So-
me into the project and was talking about like what are our options, and you're like, I'm multicolor, and like, hey, let's do this, and man, I'm glad everything worked out good. And yeah, like you said, I think it's a lot better being in all those multicolors because it's there's plenty of custom printers out there that use 1, 2, maybe 3 or 4 colors, but to have something, especially being you can customize it since it's so
3.
many blocks all together. Yep, you can just throw it all
Exactly.
together and see what it looks like. There's no real symmetry to it. Just throw it together.
Yeah, and because it's blocks, I was able to show off those that have helped me along the way. So you can make out the nice, lovely Polymaker block, the
Like a NASCAR.
Recreate 3D Jake, Wham Bam. Of course, I had to get the Sanjay Multiple Imagination and then E3D because
Absolutely. Yep.
we decided to go nuts, and we threw a Hemera onto the big printer because why not?
Like I said, that's a lot of answers to the 3D printing community is, why not? Not why.
Yeah.
Why not?
If it doesn't work, you shove it into a shredder and re-extrude it on an art mail or something along those lines.
You melt
If
some
you've got
components, you 3D print some more blocks.
exactly, you need to make the printer bigger, add some more blocks into it. As I say, you could go from the Mini Core XY with the 120, the Mini Core XY with the 120, and go 235, or go bigger with a 400. Make an Orange Storm giga-sized printer block printer, because
That would be a thing to see.
it again, why not? we could do that. It'll be
That's the whole idea with the blocks being just a whole modular system. Yeah, you can you can keep building and building, and maybe on the bigger size you might start need to introduce some bolts or some glue. But I guess if you get the tension really good, I see, and that's what I like is you're committed to the fact that I've done it without it. If I build another one, it's going to go without it.
If anything needs to be added, it would be support braces, and printer block connectors allow for that. And so far, I've not needed to add glue to anything, and the only screws in there are the hardware components where it's unavoidable.
Yeah, like the hot end and everything else.
Yeah,
that's
which even then that's thrown onto a mutant, and then that's directly melted onto a NEMA 12, not NEMA 12, a MGN 12.
That's the way a mutant probably makes it better too. Of a test bed of, like you said, of putting the Hemera on it. Does it work? Does it not?
Yep.
Okay, let's take it off and put it back. Put a different thing on there. So yeah, that's probably the best way to go.
That in itself saved so much effort as to trying to make a printer block a hot end mount. I was trying to do that, and I was trying to work out how maybe I could make the hot end be modular as well, with trying to put in pogo pins. And then I was thinking, well, if I wanted to go nuts with this and potentially make a kit or release a bill of materials, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to torture yourself with making a printer block printer other than it's fun? Yeah, so where was I going with this thought process? Something along the lines of making it safe for the next person, because other people, a couple of people did ask, is there a kit for this? Is there going to be a bill of materials? I hope. Bill of materials, definitely. Kit? What? No.
Might have to source your own that way when something fails.
Yeah.
Hey, I have nothing to do with it.
Exactly.
My hands are clean. No, and that's the thing too. Is I think is just the whole why not, and the people that want to build it. Yeah, and a lot of times like I said, you get the more minds in it, the more eyes on it of the different iterations you can get, the changes or improvements that whether somebody else takes on, or on your next build you're like, hey, so and so did this with theirs. Never thought of that. I think the more hands it's in, the better, and just a lot of cooler designs and ideas that come out of it. So it's gonna be interesting to see once you release it on how many people put it out there. I know a few streamers that I'm sure are gonna make a fun project out of it.
Again, the remixability of it, it's made out of blocks. You could take it back to a Cartesian build. You could H-bot it. You could positron it. Delta, polar, all of the kinematics made out of printer block. Long-term goals, definitely.
Well, and that's like too, it's like the ultimate test bed if you're running to components and whatnot, because hey, I want a component for a Cartesian or a Core XY. Okay, well, let's convert it. Let's snap all these together, and you're gonna end up needing like a Lego style manual where it's just all the pictures and this block to this block, this block to this block.
Great. That'd be great.
Eventually, right? As it progresses even more.
It would be a lot of screenshots out of Tinkercad, because I don't know. I've not said it yet, but this whole thing has just been done in Tinkercad, because that's the thing that I've played
just
the
throw it all
most.
together. You can have the pieces in there and throw it all together and kind of see what lines up and what doesn't. And hey, if it works, it works.
Yeah.
So now, of course, you've been doing these projects, the print a block projects, and of course you printed other things. But going back, when did you actually start getting into 3D printing, and what got you into 3D printing?
My first 3D printer was a Comgro badged Creality Ender 3 printer from I purchased that in 2019, May sort of time, 2019. And my whole thing has been from the start to 3D printer.
Oh. Sorry. Yeah, I'm still got some stuff going on, but I tried muting so I don't cough in everybody's ear. So your goal was to get into like building your own 3D printer?
Yes. So I'd seen videos from Teaching Tech, from Maker's Muse, of course, Joel 3D printing I'd seen those, and they just the enthusiasm and energy that they had for 3D printing, and I'd been watching the scene since 2016, and eventually a sale turned up. Of course, it was a sale, and I had
every time.
Yep, and I'd received a gift card as a Christmas gift, which made it even more palatable and tolerable to throw money at the wall and
Yep.
see
Sale
what
price
stuck.
plus
And
free money and the gift card. So,
yeah,
yeah.
I think in the end I paid around 80 or 90 pounds for that printer from
Nice.
the 190-ish that it should have been. So I thought I did quite well there. So I grabbed
Yep.
that. I grabbed a spool of the cheapest, nastiest filament that was there.
Whatever you can get your hands
and
on.
yep, and I ran with it. And there was a a DVD motor based there was a DVD motor based model from a creator called Mega Andy that I'd seen on Thingiverse, and that was the third thing that I printed. I printed that out and then saw that my motors didn't fit because I didn't check these things, because I didn't think to check these things.
Yeah, you're just excited to do it.
Yeah. So it was a case of, well, I now need to change these. And I went to Fusion 360 because everyone was using Fusion 360 and got completely overwhelmed. So Tinkercad made it a heck of a lot less scary. It I took
It's
it
just very
to,
intuitive. You can
Yeah.
pick it up and run with it.
yes. And it was around this time that Joe had published Printer Block, which made me approach this from the angle of, I need to make a piece for this. That's all I need to think about. Make it work with this. And then we go forward, and I've made a piece to mount the motor onto. I've now got this. Let's make a way to hold some rails. Well, not rails, some rods, some 3mm rods. Make it a snug fit, put it into a connector. Oh, look at that. I've now got a slide. If I take 3 of these, oh, what do you know? It's a printer.
Just went down the rabbit hole real quick.
Yes. That was one of the screenshots that I sent into his Discord server, and just like, how far can I take this? And
did he have any input on it? Was he just like, did he ever really respond to it of what he thought?
Oh, he did. He did. He as far as I can tell, he loves this. Like,
I'm sure a design that he meant for anything and
Yes.
everything. I'm sure in his head it wasn't even like a, hey, one thing, maybe somebody will build a 3D printer. So I think any idea with your own design is probably awesome.
Yeah. So he gave me a push. Like, I didn't actually have something to cut the rods with, so he sent me enough cash to get myself a Dremel and a few other little bits, and then, as I say, that's how we got to this.
Yep.
And then it was a case of making that work, and unfortunately it only ever did a blob that was squarish, and
But at least
ideally
it got
it would
you to
have
that point to know, what do I need to do for the next one, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
It got me there. It's a lot of learning along the way, which
a lot of frustration,
is great.
I'm sure.
Enough frustration and being burnt out for about a year on the whole idea of it, but then coming back because, hey, look at that Smurf. And then, oh, I can do this. I can do something. I want to take something that people can enjoy, to have something to talk to people about, to inspire younger makers to get into this hobby.
And especially an idea that just spawns from just an idea. Can it be done? Maybe it can't, but until you try it and have the frustration. Probably threw, I'm sure, a few blocks across the workshop here or there, but
I've still got the tub of every single prototype-esque block that I've done, and that tub it's not that big because I don't want to waste filament. Hence being
but I think that's a lot of us in the community have sentimental value to a lot of things. So, like, I always ask too, so your first printer, I always ask people, do you still have your first printer? Whether you use it or not, you still, most of us have it, even if it's not actively in the shop. It's somewhere because we refuse to let it go. It has so much.
It's actively printing right now.
See, there you go. That's what I tell everybody. Mine is a Ender 3 OG, and it still prints great. I have no modifications other than like PTFE tube, extruder, and all that stuff, but nothing nothing crazy, and it still prints great. I've got it tweaked enough to where I don't have to really mess with it, and it's just, even with all the high speed stuff that I have now, is I still have that because it works, and it was the thing that got me started. So
Yeah.
can't get rid of it.
My Ender 3 has had a new main board and a Revo hot end, and it's still going.
Yep.
Like it's printing out pieces for the revised version 3 of the smaller Core XY printer.
The version 3 of version 2. We'll say 2.3.
Yeah,
version 2.3. I
It's
don't know if that's how version was to go.
Well, it's currently on a 13 by 13 block base. I'm moving it to a 14 by 14 block base. Sorry, blocks are 60 millimeters cubed. So it's going from 208 to plus 16 to 224. So 224 footprint, and that will free up even more of the print bed. So it'll go from being a roughly 90 millimeter build area if it worked properly and it didn't have skew issues. I mean, that's not square. That's rhombusy. It's
better than
it
some
works.
commercially created
Yes.
printers.
Yeah, so it'll get me more of the available the potential available print area to have more potential available print area to print another bigger printer.
Just a step by step, step by step.
Exactly. And because it's printer block, I only need to print 6 pieces. Granted, those 6 pieces are 3 hours a piece, but whatever.
Yep.
Exactly. And the rest of the frame can still be
deadline.
reused. Well, the next Smurf.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, you got a decently extended timeline, 11 months roughly.
Yeah.
So
give or take, yeah.
And then it just depends too, like you said, the not getting burnt out, making sure to pace yourself into it and still enjoy it. Because I mean, obviously you enjoyed doing the big one even through, I'm sure, some frustrations or problems, and I mean, look how it turned out. And I'm sure so at Smurf, did it get a lot of love then? I'm sure there's still people
definitely
nitpicking certain things, but still I'm sure.
Oh, yep.
Like,
yep.
Wait,
there's still no belt tensioning.
It's not glued. There's not a frame under there. Like, nope.
Nope. No glue. No screws were avoidable except for, let's say, for the hardware components. I kept taking on the smaller one because it's easier to do. I took the legs out while it was printing. And just took one of the framed legs out. It was just like here. Yep. While it's working.
No, that is so cool.
I hardly got a chance to leave the table for the whole weekend, and it was absolutely brilliant.
So did you leave with or without a voice?
Oh, with.
Yep.
I still had my voice. It was a bit more husky.
I'm getting better, but the first few rep wraps where I was behind the booth with Polymaker was, man, the first day I'd be very, very hoarse. So
yeah,
I can imagine doing, because that's Smurf is what, 2 days, right?
Yes, it was 2 days. So Smurf 24 was at Manchester Metropolitan University, hosted by Print City that they have based out of there, and I was doing the Recreator 3D table because Recreator 3D, I again, plastic pultrusion. It's
Josh is a good
fantastic,
guy,
yeah, absolutely love it. And thankfully this year I had backup. So there was a chap called Carl who, about 3 weeks before the event, had posted about his Mark V build. So Josh reached out to him, who then got him in contact with me, and then it was just you have a Recreator, you know what you're doing. Oh, what do you know? You're able to get to Smurf. Oh, you're planning on going to Smurf. Huh. How do you feel about being on the table too? And
so we've done the same thing in the US for rep wraps, as bringing in community members like, oh, you're going? Would you care to help?
We'll give you some filament.
Yep.
And so we roped him in, and so glad that we did, because I knew that I was going to have people asking me about the printers, but I had basically no chance to talk Recreator at all, and it's because people were like, "That's really offensive to my eyes." There's so many colors. There's so much noise going on there.
Like I said, no symmetry to it or anything. Yeah, the OCD people were like no, there's like too much orange over here, and why is there green in between these two colors? Like,
why is there a rainbow portal to the fun zone?
Yeah,
what's with the pastel rainbow? This bit glows in the dark. What are you? What? That's neon green. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
The colors, they clash.
But it generated
It
that
was
conversation, and then like you said,
Exactly.
you were talking nonstop for 2 days straight.
Yeah, and again, it was so fun. It was so much fun, and I'm thankful that you took the chance and were like, let's make this as offensive as possible.
Yeah, I can't wait for the next one. Honestly, like I said, this was fun seeing kind of the progression of it and working with you, and then like I said, then finding a use for our pen kits and our sample kits. Like, okay, no, this is perfect. The size was perfect and everything else. So no, I think now what's next? Who knows? 11 months to figure it out. Wow, 11 months to figure it out and to print it and to build it and make it work. Easy.
I've got plans.
There you go.
300 500 hours. Yeah, let's 6x that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait. Like I said, you know how to get a hold of me, but we're getting close to the end here, but we usually move to some kind of community questions. So if anybody has any questions for Doug or Dreams Void here, go ahead and ask in chat. I will try to keep up. I think I have them both pulled up. 3DHP says, "Hey Doug, you look familiar."
Yep, I've been on Jerry's stream a few times while contemplating how to actually do the large printer.
There you go. And then Builders Margot said, "Doug, appreciate you and your project. Look forward to what you do this year." Yeah, like I said, that's I think Builders Mark, is he kind of he started with you. I came in, I won't say midway through, but I came in after everything was rolling through and just kind of helped facilitate the final steps to get it to happen. So
yeah,
no, he worked with you, and that was a great project, and definitely more than happy with the outcome. Let's see here. Do anybody questions? It's always delayed.
Favorite ice cream flavor?
Wait, where do you see that? Oh, there we go. Okay, it's
that was in YouTube chat.
Okay, so Philip Vladson, what's your favorite ice cream flavor? That's a random question. I won't take it. Toss up.
What is my favorite ice cream flavor?
Mint chocolate chip?
No. Honeycomb and ginger.
Ooh, honeycomb and ginger. That must be a
European
thing. That
or rum and raisin. Rum and raisin's also good.
Robin raisin? I mean, obviously, it probably has raisins in it, but what's the flavor?
Rum.
Oh, rum. Okay, rum and raisin. Okay,
rum.
No, we got some rum flavored stuff, rum cake and everything else. Let's see, Maker Bees on YouTube. Have you ever had a dream, or has it always been a void? I get it.
I never recall them.
I rarely recall mine, so I'm with
I don't recall them ever.
So more a void than a dream.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ace Gamer asks, when's the next printed printer coming? Ideally by the end of this year, right?
I would be hoping before March to have it finished.
There you go. Okay, so soon-ish.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
TM.
JRT 3D. Or no, who asked? Where was it? Oh, he
print
said, what's
block
next?
suit.
We just answered that. Yeah, so yeah, print block suit. I don't know if that'd be very comfortable.
There are pivot blocks. There are hinges. Pseudo chainmail.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah.
Be a little bit blocky, but I guess that's the point of print a block.
Doing some cos PLA.
Blazying and Twitch says, how about some recreated blocks on the next one? Oh, yeah, recreated filament.
I don't have sufficient recreated units built. I want a dual-headed pultruder. I have a dual-headed pultruder roughed out. I need to put hot ends back on it. Yeah.
Work in progress.
I could do some recreated blocks. I probably should have a few.
It would go well with the theme, especially if you're helping out Josh at the next booth again.
But in terms of things that are next but printer blocky, BlazeTech has a product called RoboPad. So think Antweight combat robots.
Okay, yeah.
And just printer blockify it. So
Nice.
you
And
just
the big blocky BattleBot.
yes, and that still fits within the ant weight classification at the moment until I put a shell spinner on it and we have fights and see what happens.
That'll be
that's
fun to see.
that will be fun to see, especially if Smurf plans happen with that. That'd be good.
Now, Blaze Tech, you said, is creating that. Is that a kit that somebody can buy right now, or something that's coming out?
So it's shipping and available in the UK. Not got the FCC stuff for US based, unfortunately. Yes. Numeric, I don't do any combat robot stuff at the moment. I literally picked that up at the end of Smurf because I saw that the demo unit was still sat there, and I just asked if I could buy the demo unit.
Was that the original plan when you took it? Was like I could do print a block with that, or was it more of
yes,
I want it and I'll figure something? Okay, so you had your
pure
print a block is on your mind nonstop. You figure out how can I blockify it?
Yes, like in the Hangout chat before the stream, Sam was in there, and people link Sam to Death Racers. I would like to do a Death Racer, but printer blockified.
There you go.
It's because it takes the barriers to entry and makes things smaller to think about, like, as I say, piece by piece by piece.
Yep.
It just makes it easier for me to think about, because I can focus on this and then make it work with the next piece.
Well, and also too is it's different than what you see. And of course, we've seen 3D printed printers, and they're cool. Not negating them, but
there's
to have
there's nothing wrong with Snappy. There's nothing wrong with Rook.
Basically, a Lego printer, a Lego Death Racer, a Lego BattleBot. I mean, it's things you don't see, and I think that's cool. Like that turned out even more amazing than I thought in my head when I first kind of hopped in it with you guys to talk about it. And that, like I said, seeing the progression and seeing the ultimates, like, okay, no, that was well worth it. So keep them coming. All the block ideas, and we'll see what kind of awesome creations you make.
Yeah, I mean, you could easily take the big printer into an IDEX by having those stacked NEMA 17s. Add another rail in there for not add another rail. Add another set of the idler blocks for the for A and B and on the X carriage, and you can have a second tool head on there for an IDEX, and that's 5 pieces that would be changed, give or take, and that would do it.
It's ready to go. The most easy to work on printer.
Pretty much.
Yeah. You don't have to take off 5 panels, the back piece, the main board, just access this one connector. So pop this off, unplug, and there you go. So no,
and you saw how easily I took the motor off.
Yeah, just unplug the connector and off it goes.
Exactly.
So I think that's it for the community questions. We always end it with some rapid fire questions, just quick questions with short answers, and then I'll give you the stage to kind of let people know where to find you, etc. But I always ask the same first 2 questions. First off, what is your favorite filament? Color, surface effect, anything. And I have to preface, it does not have to be Polymaker.
It's whatever the filament that is currently in my printer right now, which on my KP3S actually does happen to be some pultruded PET, because I'm trying to do that Bamboo Labs mouse.
Oh, there you go. Yep. Always building something. Let's see. Out of all the prints you've done, what is the print that you're most proud of?
One of those 2?
There you go. Yep.
No, the original printable printer.
Yeah, where it started or where I'm at now. So it's sometimes that's a very hard question to answer. But so now let's say you have unlimited printer blocks, unlimited, as many as you want, as whatever size, whatever, anything. What would you build?
I wouldn't. I would take that pile of printer block and pour it out onto the floor at Smurf and just let people have fun with it.
That's not a bad idea. Kind of like a little Lego Playland. Not to keep compared to Lego,
exactly.
That's the easiest thing to kind of reference it
to.
So you know what? Maybe we'll have to see what we can come up with. That might be fun. And then let's see here. What would you like to implement in the next printer? If there will be one, we've already talked that there is going to be one. What would you say if you don't have, other than size wise, what would you say is something that you hope to implement, or maybe that you've implemented that you don't mind talking about, or no comment?
I want to put Baby Belt into it. I want to add a belt to the build plate.
Awesome. Yep, there you go. So something maybe in the works or just an idea right now that you got to push forward.
Baby belt.
There you go.
Yep.
The time will tell.
Yep.
And then the last question, this is more one I just through our chat actually I think a couple weeks ago is looking at your workshop. I know you weren't happy with the background right now. Are you done reorganizing and recreating it, or has it even started?
I think I'm happy with the layout as it is at the moment, but I do need to change the things that are propping up the build surfaces, and I need some standing desks in here.
There you go. Yeah, that's standing desk is something I've just recently got, and I haven't put it into my setup yet. But yeah, they're especially with you too, as much as pieces and parts, taller pieces and everything else is make it a lot easier.
It's the surface that I'm on and the surface just to the left. There's about 48 mil gap, so 3 blocks, and it's just a little bit annoying.
Now you just need to print some large printer blocks and level it out.
I could do that.
There you go.
So
Yet another idea for printer blocks.
So you're suggesting a printer block table?
Oh, there you go. Yeah. I mean, why not, right? I would say the top just for, stability, you want to kind of just maybe a butcher block top. But I mean, the frame and the legs and the support, I mean, it could be done.
That is basically a coffee table.
See? Yeah, there you go. Yeah. End table for each. I mean, you could actually just print a block of top surface for it, make it an end table and the 3D printer. Multi-purpose. I mean, look at all the ideas. A brainstorm session for 1 hour would come up with about 500 different ideas. So
Posi block, baby belt block.
There you go. Blockify everything.
Printer block death racer. Let's do it.
Printer block dragster. That'd be interesting. Like not very aerodynamic, but they don't go that fast. They don't need to be.
Well, they are perforated for safety.
Yeah, that's true. There you go. Yep.
Just like the
motors and everything too. It's just a natural.
Yep.
It's meant to be. Well, we could talk about tons of printer block ideas, but I'll leave those to you to surprise people with. But for those that want to kind of follow what you do, is there anywhere they can follow you, see your projects, come to life as you progress?
I am Dreams Void on the majority of social medias. So
easy enough.
Yeah, dreamsvoid.com for terrible attempted blog posts. And that's got links to everything else.
I think a lot of us start a site and then it just kind of, you've spent so much time on the socials. It's like, what's the point of then updating my website? So yeah, so Dreams Void across the socials, find him there, see what he's doing next. Print a block, let's see the next thing. And I know a place you can get some filament for the next great idea. So you know who to hit up. But thank you very much for coming on the show. I will let you go because it's late where you're at, and I appreciate you staying up. But now I'll let you get some sleep, and we'll talk soon.
Cheers.
See you, Doug.
Bye.
And there you have it. Episode number 46 in the books with yet another, I say it every time. It seems redundant, like I have it scripted. Another awesome maker. The things that Doug has in his head of what he can do with print a block and then what he's actually able to execute is just awesome. Like I said, jumping into that project, into the infancy of it and hearing the idea, thought it was a cool idea. Thought, hey, in the end, this is going to be pretty neat. But once he finished it, it was like, I regret not making it to Smurf last year just to be able to see that alone. I'm sure there was a lot of other awesome things, but I would love to see that thing in person. So, this year, who knows? Make it over across the pond and check out what crazy stuff Dreams Void comes up with through the year. So he's got 11 months to come up with a ton of cool ideas, and we just talked about a few of them in just a short few minutes. So thank you guys for coming to the show. If you like what you see, if you like Polymaker, if you want to show support, follow us across all the socials. Right now on Instagram, if you haven't followed us there yet, our Tiffany, our multi-channel manager, yeah, so I think that's what it is. There's so many different positions here. We're building the team, which is great. Tiffany's awesome, and she has started a giveaway on Instagram, and it's specific for Instagram. So make sure to go check out that. It's the latest post by Polymaker_3D, and there's a way to enter to win some filament. It is international, so find out the rules there and go show support to Polymaker. We're here on this show every week at 7 p.m. Eastern every Thursday. So if you enjoy what you're seeing now, or you're not too annoyed by me coughing into the microphone, it'll get better. I'm slowly clearing up everything inside. So I appreciate everybody that comes. We do have multiple other programs that we are, or projects, not programs, that Antoine Dimensions actually does our Polymaker figurines, and he finished all of the first 151 last year, right up to the end of the year. And he is now on version 2. Three characters in so far. I don't remember how many are into this poster, but again, when he does those videos, those models become available on Maker World free to download and print yourself in solid color, multicolor, however you please. Size them up, shrink them down. You know, they are free to download, so you do what you want with them. We also have our Polymaker education ran by Create6 Brit, and that is the same kind of setup. Anytime that she does a video on an educational piece, whether it's teaching motor functions, mathematics, food safety, just real world stuff for kids and adults, that model becomes available for download on Maker World, and that's Polymaker_education. If somebody can link that, I don't know if anybody's in here. I think it's Linktree. There's an Instagram for Antoine. There's a Linktree. There we go. Thank you, Britt. Linktree. I should know. Linktree/Polymaker education. Duh. But and then we also have our End Printing Color show hosted by Pezliz, and that is on twitch.tv/Pezliz, and that is every Wednesday. That is an alternating time at times, just so she can hit Europe and hit US. If you're like some people like myself and you sleep 1 hour a day, you can catch all of them. So it's up to you on what you want to try to catch. But it's just a fun show showcasing a lot of our new filament. And this is a new year. New year means new product, new filament, new merchandise. I mean, I've only seen that mentioned a million times, but you know, we'll see what's coming up here. But that is all that we have. And also thanks to Petty Ruxpin for the video for Wagon Wheels. One of the guys worked with for the Wagon Wheels project. Just a fun, awesome thing to give back and be able to help with. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video also. So with that said, we can't forget the giveaway, right? Go ahead and type in "I am awesome" in the chat. I'm going to give it the few seconds it takes me to find who we're raiding into today. Make sure to type in "I am awesome." If you win, that is a spool of filament. That is international. Don't care where you're at. Enter it in there, and if you win, you will receive a spool. If you're out in the middle of nowhere, it might take a couple weeks to get to you, but without a doubt, we will get you a spool of filament if you win. If you are the winner that we draw, make sure to email me at joel.finn@polymaker.com or message me on our Discord at discord.polymaker.com. I am Polymaker Joel on the user list. Find me there, message me. I will be sure to process your win as quick as possible, usually within a day, 2 days, max, as long as you contact me. But don't forget that part. Reach out to me. Let me know that you won on Meet the Polymaker on 1/16/2025. And then after that, we are going to raid out to somebody. Let's raid out. We're going to raid out the Kite Crafter. Raid Kite Crafter. Wow. Let's try doing /raid. We get it? There we go. It is saying that this is intended for mature audiences. Right now, they're replacing the hot end on my printer. 10 years for the E3D V6 hot end. So doing some technical stuff, and looks like it's a Delta from what I'm seeing on the preview. So after we do the drawing, make sure to go show them some love. And thanks Digital Dragon, by the way. I seen it and I forgot to mention it. Thank you for the raid. So very much appreciate the support. A lot of times when I'm involved with the interview, I don't watch the chat as well. So I apologize just now pointing that out, but appreciate the support. And now we're going to share that support over to Kite Crafter after we draw. And here we go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And who will win the spool of filament this week? I don't know. Who's going to be? It is going to be R2_builder. You have won. Again, reach out to me on Discord or the email. But congratulations on that win. Thank you all, as always, for your support. We are back again next week at 7 p.m. if you want to tune in. But until then, show our love over to Kite Crafter, and you guys have yourself a good night, a good weekend, and a good week. See you later, guys.